All good. What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Embarrassing loss by them boys by losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers 142-105. Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 4 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 23.7 rebounds. All right, let's just get straight to it, right? This is a G-rated show. I've always said that. Big Taz, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. Gravity, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. Disc Rover, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. I know I usually say this is a G-rated show, right? It is, right? It is. And we're going to continue to keep it G-rated. But they got their asses kicked tonight. Flat out. Like, it's no question about it. It's no, Nammer. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. It's no sugarcoating it at all. They lost by 30. Was it 37 tonight? They lost by 37, man. Rondo, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. They lost by 37, man. 37. They almost lost by 40 tonight. They was down by 40. Now they're currently 0-6 against the top dogs in this league. 0-6. And 3 out of those games have been, nasty blowouts. I think Boston, they lost by 20? I want to say they lost by 28. What was it, 130 to 111, 101, or something? They lost by 28. Then they lost to OKC by 25. They're getting destroyed by these teams. Vibes, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live tonight. Nasty loss by them boys. Disgusting. Embarrassing. 142-105. See, LV is like, you see him, I'm pausing, right? You know why? Because I'm trying not to make this not a G-rated show. I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to keep it like, there's a pattern here, right? And it's easy to say, the players this, the players that, Towns needs to do this, Towns needs to do that, Brunson this, and Precious this, OG Nobi, Mikal Bridges, they've been killing him. But they're making the same mistakes, guys. They're making the same mistakes. This hasn't changed from the beginning of the season. Like, this hasn't. They're making the same mistakes. So when does the blame go from the players to land on the lap of the coach? Like, when does that happen? And I'm just being honest. Like, they're making the same mistakes on their coverages, on their schemes. If they're making the same mistakes, that means it's not getting corrected. Tandria, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with LV Live. It's my first time seeing you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Tandria, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I don't want to butcher it. But if it's your first time coming through, rocking with me and my crew, please subscribe to the channel. But I appreciate you coming through, rocking with me and my crew tonight. Sorry it has to be on these circumstances. But I truly, truly do appreciate you coming through. Please subscribe to the channel. So you have to ask yourself, right? They've been making the same mistakes. This has been an issue with the drop, with the rotations, everything. So to me, like I said before, I said it last night, like, you get to a point where you say to yourself, listen, the guys are making the same mistakes. And different guys are doing the same mistake. Like, Bridges would do a mistake, and then you'll see McBride do the same mistake. Josh Hart would do a mistake, then you'll see Deuce do the same thing. Or you'll see OG Anunoby do. That sounds like they're being coached to do that. So it comes to a point where it's like you can't get rid of the players. Like you can't just say, okay, we can't do that. So now you got to ask yourself, okay, what's going on here? See, it'll be different if one game was like this, right? It's an outlier, okay? They had a tough game against these boys, all right? They had a tough one, but it's a pattern now. It's a pattern against these tough teams, the top dogs. It's a pattern here. So now it's not like, oh, it's an outlier. This is what it is. This is what it is. So now you got to ask yourself, okay, look, all right, okay, this is who we have. And we've known this is who we have since day one. CC, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Embarrassing loss tonight by the boys, 142-105. The captain, 26 points, 4 assists. Right, this is the team we knew we had. We knew we were getting Towns. We knew the deal that they made. Okay, cool. We knew we lost iHeart. Cool. We knew Mitch was going to be out. Cool. So, they had to make some moves, right? They had to do some things. So we knew, okay, we didn't really have the money. I mean, we can go back and forth for this all day, right? As far as how they constructed this team, the players they put on it, we could do this all day. But this is what the team was. This is what it is, man. This is what it is. So it's your job to get these guys on point. It's your job. It's not the player's job. The player's going to do what they want to do, man. They going to be them. There comes a point and comes a time, right, when there has to be like an adult in the room. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like an adult in the room. You like, there's got to be somebody that's going to come in there and really kind of tighten up them screws, man. Because that's what it is. It's all just a bunch of tightening. So you mean to tell me Mikal Bridges is a bum? He can't play no defense? OG Anunoby's a bum. He can't play no defense. Josh Hart just stinks. I think Brunson's been playing solid defense this year. We know he's not a A1 defensive player, but I'm not seeing Brunson getting scorched all year. Like I haven't. Cat struggles. We know that. So does Spider Mitchell. He struggles too. So does Garland. Garland getting scorched by the Celtics. Like, he's not a great defensive player. So how are other teams that don't have great defensive players able to do certain things that they're doing to us? So so for me, it's just a matter of like coming to a realization as to what it is that we're watching here. I don't know, like, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again, expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. They're doing the same thing over and over again. The same thing with this drop coverage. The same thing. They're making the same mistakes, and it's not being corrected. So once again, I can't put that on the players' laps. I got to look at the coach. Why isn't it being corrected? Why are we still making the same mistakes, man? Why? Coach, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. Embarrassing loss tonight by the boys, 142-105. Knicks 100 GM, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live tonight. Embarrassing loss. Nasty loss. 142-105. Here we go. Knicks 100 GM dropping jewels. Here he goes. Let me guess. It's Tibbs now. Knicks 100 GM. I just have a quick question, right? I like to ask questions. You know this on this show. You know this on this show. If it's not the coach, then who? Because it's the same result, Knicks 100 GM. It's the same result. Not every team is a perfect team. You got to come out and, you got to get the best out of your players. ACC Canty. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me. Embarrassing loss by the boys, 142-105. You got to respect your opponent. No, I think they do respect their opponent, man. I think they do. Oh, AC comes in here and says, I disagree, LV. It's not the coach. The players must take it personal. AC, man, that's a great point. But AC, I think there's a pattern here of them losing the way that they're losing here, man. You understand what I'm saying, AC? Like, there's a pattern here. That's why you got to kind of look at the coach, because they're making the same mistakes, AC. You know what I'm saying? They're making the same mistakes. And they've been making the same mistakes for months with this drop coverage and all this other stuff. So once again, it's either they're not coachable or the coach is not making adjustments. I'm just saying, that's my only issue here. So that's the question I'm asking here. The pattern is y'all slept on the Cavs. Can I keep it all the way a buck with you? Because I'm honest here, man. You know that. Knicks 100 GM. I did sleep on the Cavs. How about that? LV's being honest here. See, I'm always honest here. I did sleep on the Cavs. You know why I slept on the Cavs? Because they haven't proven me anything yet. And I'm still sleeping on them because we ain't get to the playoffs yet. But they are legit. They are good. I never said that they stink. I've always said here on this show, Knicks 100 GM, we got to see how they look in the playoffs. We got to see, right? They're legit. No lie. And listen, you got to tip your cap to your opponent, man. You have to. The problem I'm having is that it's the same issues that we're having with these top teams, and we're getting our doors blown off. That's my issue. AC says exactly, but if they don't bring the fight to the game, what can the coach do? Say run a play? No, AC. No. AC, what I'm saying to you is this, right? AC, let me just ask you a question. Because I like to ask questions here on this show, man. First time coming through, please subscribe too, because I like people coming through, rocking with me, different voices. Have you ever played before? You ever played on a team, like organized? I'm just asking, like, coaches and stuff like that, because I have a question I have to ask. If you guys play a game, you get smoked, right? You get blown out. A coach has to make an adjustment to where that same mistake doesn't happen again, right? Because you know your players. You know the strengths and weaknesses of your players. So most of the time, a coach will make an adjustment. I don't know what it is. It could be anything. And the team is going to come out and play better the next time they see a team or a top team, because you're going to get motivated to be up. The problem is it's the same outcome. It's just so that tells me, low key, just asking guys, because everyone says they love Tibbs. Is he losing the locker room in this aspect when you play as these top teams? Because once again, guys, you got to understand, sometimes certain coaches reach their ceiling. And I'm not saying that's Tibbs. I'm not saying that right away. But what I'm saying is this is a pattern here, AC. It's a pattern. You can't get rid of the whole team. You can't get rid of all the players, man. You can't do that. They assembled this team for a reason. They went out and got Cat for a reason. They went out and got Bridges for a reason. They went out and got OG Anunoby for a reason. So now they gave it a tip, said, yo, man, make this pop. So it's his job to get the best out of these players. It's his job to make adjustments, to make sure they're not getting smoked. It's his job to make sure they're ready to go. If they're not ready to go and they're getting blown out each game, what is Leon going to do? He's going to get rid of the whole team, or is he going to fire the coach and the coaching staff? Come on, man. That's why I asked that question, AC. Because most of the time, most coaches make adjustments, especially when it's coming up to a big-time team and a big-time game. You say, okay, make sure these boys is ready in all aspects. Knicks 100 GM said, yo, I love you, LV, but this is for the whole fan base with the assumption the Cavs were fake. Okay. I don't think the Cavs were fake. I just said I don't believe them yet. I think they're good. Knicks 100 GM, please be honest. I think they're good, man. David Smith, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV live tonight. Embarrassing loss by them boys, 142-105. I said they were legit. I said they're good, but I said I don't trust them. I said because when the playoffs come, and here's the thing, we didn't have everybody today. We didn't have Mitch. We didn't have Josh Hart, which are big pieces of what it is that we like to do, right? So I understand. So once again, I said, okay, cool. The Cavs are doing their thing. I think that, whatever. I said that. But we got to see in the playoffs. That's what I said. But, they doing their thing, man. Doing their thing. Knicks 100 G said, y'all just brushed that off, and now y'all seeing the flaws that you should have seen before. I think we've all seen the flaws. I think we've all said the problems that we have with our defense. We've all seen it. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen it. We've all been able to identify it. I think the biggest thing that I think I'm having an issue with and a problem with is the way we're getting beat, right? If we lose and we're losing by a couple of points and we're showing fight, all right, cool. But we're getting blasted by these teams. Blasted, man. So, man, listen. It just doesn't look good, man. It doesn't. Yes, that's old Pat Riley's hockey substitutions. That used to wake them up when they played bad. When the starters get back in, they got the message. They play harder. Yeah, man, listen, man, look, the reality is this, guys, look, man, you can't be getting blown out by teams like this, man. I mean, getting embarrassed. I mean, they're getting smoked by these teams. Smoked. I thought the first game against Boston was just all right. It just happens, but nah, man. They look the same way in the Garden. Then they look the same way against OKC. Then they come out here today and get their doors blown off almost by 40. I mean, come on, man. You can't, it ain't all the players. Like, what I'm saying is that one game, yes, but if it continues to be that, why are they unable and don't seem prepared when they come into these games with these teams? And they just look like they're overmatched. And they're not even in the same league as these guys. You got all NBA guys on this team. Cat and Brunson started the All-Star game for the East. They're going to probably be first and second team All-NBA. Cat is having a monster year. OG Anunoby's known as one of the best defenders in the league on the wing. So is Bridges. We know who Josh Hart is. You mean to tell me that with this squad we're getting smoked by 40 points? I mean, come on, dogs. Come on, man. Come on. No. That's come on. As I sip my tea. That's good. You just said my point. If we're playing hard and we're close, it's no problem. But when you don't take it personal, you get blown out. Here's what I'm trying to tell you, AC. You think these guys aren't taking it personal? You think they're not? But this is, okay. Once again, that's why I asked the question earlier, have you ever played on a team? Because a coach should be a coach that, okay, if that's the case, AC, what you're saying, valid. Then why do they need a coach for? I don't need a coach to kind of get me up and kind of identify certain things. I don't need a coach. We don't need a coach. We can coach ourselves, if that's basically what you're saying. On Dios, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Do you understand what I'm saying, AC? So that's my point. So it's the coach to get these guys up and ready for the game. It is, man. It falls on the coach. It falls on the coach. You got to be able to identify, okay, why weren't they ready for these big games? Why are we getting smacked? Why are we coming out flat and not ready to go? Why are these things happening? Why? You're going to have to change some things around in how you get these guys ready to go or whatever you're doing. If they're tired, then the game before, if you want to kind of sit some guys and rest them in the fourth, then do that. If you feel like guys need to get to the arena early and make some do shoot around, put it and make sure they go do that. I don't know. But know your players, know what's going on because they should not be getting waxed like this. It shouldn't be happening. As good as a team this is. Knicks 100 GMOs coming in with the flames. Is it in your mind that we want a new coach? Come on, bro. Just say it. No, not yet. Not yet. Because I want to give Tibbs the benefit of the doubt, man. I think he deserves that. But what I am saying, Knicks 100 GM, that it is concerning. It is concerning. I'm being honest, and there's no way we can sit here and say it's not. Because it's a pattern here. That's what I'm saying. It's a pattern. I don't know what's going on with this team this year. I think we're really good, but I think there's certain things that we have to get better with. And I think that it's up to the coach he's got to figure out what works for these guys defensively, because we look like Swiss cheese. And so that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Here goes Coach. Sham it. And should be in the G League with Matt Ryan. Yeah, that's another thing too, man. That's another thing. I thought that they also too, man. I thought they dropped the ball big time with the development of Dadier and Hakaporte, man. Because Hakaporte, there's no way he shouldn't have been playing this whole year. There's no way. But they dropped the ball with that development too. Dadier, same thing. Because this is what you have. This is your team, man. This is your team. Okay, you knew the team wasn't going to have enough money to go out and really get anybody big anyway. You knew this because of the deal you made for Cat and the money that you had to play. So I'm just being honest with you. So you got to develop these young kids. You have to do that. Dylan White was real good. I don't know, man. And if you have to play any rival, it's the coach's job to get you motivated. No, not a rival. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if your team is having a problem when you're playing against the top teams, right? Whatever's going on, as far as getting ready, as far as whatever defensive schemes are, whatever plans you have in, you got to know your team as a coach. You got to know what works, what doesn't work. And you got to implement those things because you're the leader here, man. If that's the case, these guys can coach themselves, but they have a coach there to change things up, to give them direction, to say what you should run, what you shouldn't run. That's the job of the coach, man. They ain't the players' jobs. If that's the case, they once again, they can coach themselves. But it's up to the coach to tweak certain things to make to know what makes your team tick. And if they're flat coming out for a game and it's happening on a regular basis, that's what I'm saying to you, Ace. Like, I'm not saying how. Okay, Ace, here's my question. How is it they're ready and playing better against other teams, but these really legit teams, they're flat. They're not ready. Why and how is that? What is their preparation like? All those things matter, man. It really does. But once again, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. And this is not like something bad on Tibbs. I think this is just his personality. Like, told you, guys that play for him said he's the easiest guy to play for. Jeff Teague said it. Other guys have said it. I've heard it. He ain't really coaching you like that. He lets you do what you want to do. Why do you think last year, on the years before that, we was barking? Because he was like, yo, why is he letting Randall do what he wants? What is Randall doing? Why is Tibbs allowing Randall to do all this nonsense, right? And all these things we were saying. But once the players started coming out, guys that played for him and say, yo, Tibbs don't really be coaching you, man, but he's a player's coach. He let the guys do what they want to do. So what I'm saying is, that matters, man. That matters in the guidance that you give your players and how you are with your players. Dunn Rose, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live tonight. Embarrassing loss by them boys, 142 to 105. The Big Cat, 23.7 rebounds. Jay Supreme says, LV, if they get smoked again on Sunday against Boston after this loss, it's definitely a coaching issue and a lack of adjustments being made. Jay Supreme, that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying here, man. That's all I'm saying. You know, like, be clear. Like, I'm not saying the guy stinks as a coach. He should never coach again. I'm not saying none of those things. But what I'm saying is that it's something going on to where something's not clicking. So when we got these big games, he's not getting these guys ready to go. It's the coach's job to do that. Yes, you know, he don't go out there and shoot and do all this other stuff. But the coaches do a lot of other things to get your players ready than go out there and play for them. That's all I'm saying. So listen, man, a lot of this stuff falls on his lap, man. It does. That cannot be denied. Like, it does, man. It falls on his lap. You know what I mean? And we can name a lot of different things. We can name, but there's a problem with the way the defense is being run, the scheme, the decisions that these guys are making, the choices that they're making. There was one play when Garland was coming off a pick. And I think who set the screen? I think it was Matt Strus set the screen on Bridges so he can roll and pop. So what happened was Bridges took the screen when he fought around it and he chased Garland, but he let Max Strus just go at the top of the key. And I was like, yo, that's bad coaching because you're leaving wide open threes. Brunson got to check Garland, man. That's what's got to happen. You got to switch on that because what you don't want to do is leave wide open threes. That's what you don't want to do. So Brunson going to have to check up. So that's what I'm saying. So they're chasing guys down and kind of making things worse than what it really needs to be. It's a simple adjustment. If the screen is being set, you don't want to be giving up in the wide open threes, but you trying to chase because you don't want Garland to be one-on-one with Brunson. Listen, Brunson got to, excuse my language, he got to nut up and he got to lock in. Pause. He got to, let him hang him. Like, all right, cool, I got him. Because we can't be giving up wide open threes. But once again, that's a coaching thing. That's a coaching adjustment he's got to make on that. He's got to say, all right, cool, we got to stop rotating like that. The rotations are terrible, but that's being coached, man. Okay, let me go over here really quick. Look, guys, look at the stats here, man. Look at the stats. They shot 61% from the field. We shot 47. They made 19 threes, man. 19 threes. 19 for 37. We made 10 for 28. They beat us in every category, man. Look at that. 47 rebounds to 32. 38 assists to 25. 66 points in the paint. Or 38. 66. 20 fast break points. This is really, really bad, man. Really, really bad. And that's the frustrating part that for me, it's hard. But listen, guys, look. I said it here before. I said it here on other shows too. You guys have heard me say this. We're not ready yet, man. We're just not. We're not ready yet. And I've said this before, and I said this year is not going to be our year. I said this before, guys. Other teams have had opportunities to really build their teams for years. Boston, it took them 7 years. We're not there yet, and that's okay. But the question is, going forward, is he going to be the guy to lead us to the mountaintop? Is he going to be the guy? We got to see if that's possible because these same guys are coming back. Daniel Berry, man, sports highlights, man. I appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, man. I truly, truly appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew. Embarrassing loss by them boys 142 to 105. Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 4 assists. But the stats say everything, man. They dominated in every fashion of the game. Every fashion of the game. Question, LV, do you think last year's team's defense was better? If so, do you think the coach changed his defensive scheme? No. The players are doing it. No. Last year's defensive team was better. Our offense was, our defense was the strength last year, and our offense wasn't. So losing iHeart was big, man. That was probably the biggest loss of the offseason for us. Not Mitch being injured, not the picks for Bridges. Those things weren't. It was losing iHeart. iHeart was the anchor. The anchor. So I think that was big. That was big, losing iHeart. So where we were great defensively, like I said, we were limited offensively. We just was. It was pretty much Brunson and get out the way. And then try to find, Dante for threes and, OG for threes here and there. But it wasn't, that was really it. So we had to get better offensively, hence going out and get Bridges, of course, and going to get the big cat. But losing iHeart was huge because we could have played iHeart with Towns and we would probably be a totally different team defensively because he anchors a lot of different things and he can handle that pick and roll really, really well. iHeart is really a beast on that. So, but the problem is this, Ace, I'm glad you asked that question. You're going to have to adjust your scheme based on the players you have. If you feel like, okay, I can run the same thing with everybody, that's, excuse my language, but that's lazy ass coaching because it doesn't go like that. You got to coach based on what you have. If you don't have the guys that can run that stuff that you ran last year and they're struggling, you're going to have to make adjustments. That's called coaching. That's called coaching. You got to be able to make an adjustment, man. So last year, yes, we were better defensively, but we weren't even close to the offense that we are this year. So we got stronger offensively, we got weaker defensively. So now you have to say, okay, the stuff I ran last year, the schemes that I ran, I could do that because these are the players I had. And I was able to do that because of iHeart and what he did for us defensively. I don't have that now. And Dante was also great out there too, defensively as well. So I don't have those two guys. So now I have to change because there's certain things I have that could be better. I like Bridges, but there's some things that Bridges does that he's great at that Dante was, and some things he doesn't do that Dante does. And Cat is not the defender that iHeart is, but he's a better offensive player. So you're going to have to adjust to that. You're going to have to adjust. And if he's not adjusting, there's a problem with that. That means he's being stubborn. And he just, Right. That's all I'm saying. He did. That's why our offense is better this year. Agreed, man. But he's got to adjust with what. Okay, I see your point, but the point is you've kind of lost your point in a sense because the reality is this. I don't care what your defensive scheme was last year. You got to make an adjustments based on the team that you have. You can't try to run the same defensive stuff or feel like you can and you're getting scorched defensively. Like they're getting destroyed on pick and rolls and threes. They can't stop nobody. So that means he's still trying to do the same thing and it ain't working with these guys. So can he adjust or is he stuck in his old ways? That's the question for him. The big question. AJ Live, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live tonight. Hope all is well with you. Embarrassing loss from the boys, 142 to 105. The big cat, 23.7 rebounds. AJ Live says, we trying to win championships, not 2 rounds. Trade everyone but Brunson. Look at that. Trade everyone but Brunson. Get everybody out of here. Even the big cat? I'm just asking, AJ. The big cat's got to go too? I got to hear this, man. Tea's good, man. AJ says, Mikal smiles too much. has zero grit and soft. He needs to go because he's no championship player. She wants Mikal gone. AJ wants Mikal out of here. Eric Green, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Embarrassing loss, but I'm always embarrassing. 142 to 105. Cat plays like a power forward. I'd move him too. Yo, Cat's having his best year, man, in a minute, man. He's gonna probably be first team All NBA. I mean, Cat's phenomenal this year, man. I mean, defensively, I mean, we've always known he's lower tier, but his numbers are exceptional. So what he had last night. I mean, he's starting for the East in the All-Star game. I mean, he's probably gonna be first team All NBA this year, and that's with him playing the 5. That's when he's at his best to me. The power forward is cool. But him being at the 5 with us, he's putting up monster numbers, man. Look what he's averaging. He's averaging like 25 and 14 boards a game. I mean, that's like Moses. He's like Moses Malone out there, man. I mean, that's insane numbers with him playing the 5. So I don't know about the Cat thing. The big Cat's been, he's been phenomenal this year. Eric Green says, LV, man, a lot of these defensive issues are effort. They look lost on defense. I was frustrated watching the game. Eric Green agreed. But Eric Green, here's the question I have for you. Why do they look lost on defense? Why? Why is it the same issues, man? That's the biggest question I have. Is these guys, if they're not fixing it as players, the coach has got to make an adjustment. That's all I'm saying. Because we're seeing the same problem. So my thing is like something's not getting fixed. They're still players. Like they're not the coach. He's got a whole coaching staff there. They got to make some adjustments there because it's the same problem. It's the definition of insanity. Do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. They're doing it's the same outcome. They look like Swiss cheese out there. So something's got to change. You can't go and change the players. You can't go and say, okay, flip it. I'm trading into all these players and getting the OKC players. You can't do that. So what is the coach going to do to change the Swiss cheese defense? We looked like this last night against Chicago. We looked like this the other night before the All-Star break against Atlanta that we barely won. So what I'm saying is it's the same issue, man. We're lower tier in the league defensively, man. Like we're like number 18 in the league. So once again, man, what's the problem? And then when we play against the top teams, we're getting our asses kicked, man. I'm just being honest. And so now it's kind of like, come on. What adjustments are you going to make? Because now it's time to earn your money, man. Now it's time to earn your money, Tibbs. What adjustments are you going to make? AC says our current players must take the defense just as important as the offense. Until they do that, we will have problems with the top teams. Agreed. How do they do that, though? How do they do that, Ace? How do they do that? It's been the same problem all year. So do they trade the whole team, or they trade Bridges? Bridges is not going anywhere. They gave up 5 picks for him, right? Ace, I'm just asking, are they trading Cat? They are not trading Cat. They are not trading Cat. Are they trading Brunson? No. Are they trading Josh Hart? No, they are not. Are they getting rid of OG Anunoby? Excuse me. They just gave him $212 million. Ace, these are going to be the same guys next year. Bridges is going to sign his extension. The same guys, man. So what do we do? What do we do? You got to make adjustments here. You got to make the adjustments. It ain't up to the players to make the adjustments. It's up to the coach. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. He's got to change up something. It's not working, man. That's all I'm saying. Be different if this was 1 or 2 games. This has been the issue all season. So he has got it. This is how he earns his money. How does he get the most out of these players? What does he do? What changes does he make? How does he change things defensively? Maybe for guys to play better. Find out what guys' strengths are and what guys' weaknesses are. Maybe change your defensive scheme. I don't know. Whatever works for these guys. But what I'm saying is you got to do something. You got to do something. Do something fast. AJ says only Brunson and Hart are untouchables. Mikal definitely not getting no extension. I'm sorry. I think he is getting an extension, AJ. They gave up 5 picks for him. 5 picks for that guy, man. There's no way they're going to let him walk. He's a Knick for a very long time, so you got to get used to it. Jay Supreme says facts. They're going to have to make some kind of adjustments, and they're going to have to do it to improve the bench. Agreed, man. Agreed. Mikal's getting traded. Leon not happy. Trust me, or New York will riot if he does. I'm sorry. There's no way he's walking, man. He gave up 5 picks for that guy. He's locked in, man. He's locked in. There's no way they go. So they gave up 5 picks for nothing for just 1 year. There's no way he's signing an extension. There's no way that's walking, man. He's signing that extension. Trust. Next to 100 GM says, yeah, LV. What's Bridges' defense? What? You swear he's such a great defender. I think he is, man. I think he is. He's no scrub. I mean, he's solid defensively. Look at the defensive play he made last night. Once again, guys. This is easy, man. This is not hard. It's up to the coach to figure out these guys' strengths and weaknesses, man, and make sure that he puts them in the perfect situations to succeed in the game and on the team. That's what happens with coaching. It's not really you just roll the ball out there and let the players do what they want. If that's the case, I can find a cat from the Rucker to throw out there and go coach the Knicks. Let's go out there and go do your thing. That's easy to do. Get one of them cats from uptown from the Rucker or Dykeman or whatever, let him roll out there and go coach the Knicks. That's it. Just being honest. You see what I mean by brushing? Listen, how am I brushing it off? I just said he's a good defender. Come on. How am I brushing it off, Knicks 100 GM? I'm not brushing it off. I answered your question. Guys getting so testy up in here. This Grover says, I want to see LV coach. Oh, this is easy, man. This is easy. I had them dudes all locked in. First of all, here's the first thing I would do, this Grover. This is easy, man. Every game, I will find out who's the mismatch. And that's what I'll be featuring that. Like tonight, once again, just like the other games I've seen him drop the ball on. He's too much of a player's coach, Tibbs is. He's too much of that. And that's a problem. Like Missoula, he gets in those guys, you know what? Like they even talked about that. Have you guys seen what's the joint on Netflix with all the players? Like with LeBron, they were following those guys. I forget what it's called. Anybody know the show? It's on Netflix. It's like a documentary, a docuseries or whatever. I forget what it's called. But they kind of had Jason Tatum on it, and Tatum talked about how Missoula gets on them dudes. He's not sitting there buddy with them and letting them do what they want to do. If they're not playing right defensively, he takes them out. So he holds them dudes accountable. Tibbs doesn't do that with his players, man. He just doesn't do that. So he lets these guys kind of do what they want to do, in a sense. I'm not going to be like that. I would probably be like Missoula, man. I'll hold dudes on I'm telling you. So what I'm saying is, I would find a mismatch. Like, perfect example, Garland can't guard anybody. He's a cone. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a defensive cone. That's who Garland is. Everyone has talked about it. Mikal Bridges is there. Why not go to Bridges and let Bridges go to work on the cat? And if they come double, swing it and knock down the jumper or whatever, or swing somebody cutting, whatever. Make an adjustment from that. Same thing. I've seen certain situations where Bridges was on Trae Young. They wasn't featuring him. I saw situations where Cat, you know, even the situation in Indiana where Cat was getting busy, but they weren't featuring him. Last night, Cat got busy in the third, but they didn't feature him in the fourth. So that, to me, that's all coaching. Like, you got to say, yo, who's got the hot hand? We're going to go through him because, yo, we're going to ride this person. Find the mismatches and go to that. Don't just run your offense. Like, identify that. But to me, that's coaching, man. That's coaching and making sure Brunson is kind of saying, yo, now we ain't doing what you want to do. We doing what's best for the team. Give Cat the ball on his post. Give Mikal the ball on the post. If they double, now we got you. Now we're going to swing you the ball. But this is a team first. This ain't a you first thing. And I'm not saying Brunson does that, but what I'm saying is that's how you got exposure. That's how coaches are. Legit coaches. You know who's like that too? Udoka. Udoka's like that too. Udoka don't play. There's been situations where, you know, Sengun would sit the whole second half because he ain't like how he played. You know what I'm saying? Sengun's the all-star. He's like, you know, he's one of the best player on the team. But I'm just saying. So certain coaches know how to hold certain guys accountable. And so that's the issue I have at times with Tibbs. Yes, that's how LV will be. Like Missoula. AJ says, remember this, LV Live. Mikal is the final Infinity Stone. He has lockdown defense, gives us 20 points a game. Get him for all our picks. Where are all the Mikal Knicks Glazers now? Wow, she called them Glazers. I don't think Mikal has lived up to everything, but I think this is all part of the natural progress of him coming to a new team. I thought he's had spurts where he's played really, really well this year. But I thought he's had moments where he's kind of been iced out of games too, where he's not really being featured when he should be featured, like I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago. So it's really, really, really hard. Really, really, really hard, AJ. And I have to stress this because I think people kind of forget. It's really hard to go from being the number one option on the team for a couple of years and then you coming back and you being switched to another team and you're like the number 3 option, or number 4. That's tough to do. That's tough to do. And AJ, I've said it on my show before. That's like going and that happened to me when I went to college. Like that's going from being the man on your high school team and you're averaging 20 or 17 or whatever, and you go to your college team and you ain't getting no shots up because you got to sit behind seniors and juniors who are better than you. That is really, really, really hard to do. That's a really hard adjustment. So Bridges had to go from scoring 25 or 2, whatever he was averaging over there in Brooklyn, maybe 20 a game, shooting the ball every time he got the ball, like to now he's got to facilitate and try to find his spots where he could score and also lock down the top guy. Like that's a change, and it hasn't even been a full season of him yet, and it's been a struggle at times because I think he's still kind of adjusting to that. But I think we've also have to get better with making sure that he's being exposed. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like he's able to kind of find his matchups and we're able to use him to our best ability. And I don't think at times we've done that. So great question, though. Great question. Hey, really quick, guys, let's hear from Tibbs. Let's hear from Tibbs, man.
Minutes where we got, we're up I think 5, and then
start from the beginning.
The first
tips.
couple minutes
tip, stressing, rubbing his eyes.
Up, I think 5,
stressing,
and then missed a couple layups, and then if you jog back, there's going to be a problem. And then we got hit quick and didn't protect the basket, and they got a lot of confidence early from that, and then it snowballed from there.
Is that as disappointing as made shots that?
Well, yeah, because you got to make defensive transition on every play, and so, and I thought we generated some good looks early, but we missed some bunnies, and then if you allow that to impact getting back, now you're compounding the problem. So, and you're on the road. You got to make defensive transition on every play.
What did you think of Ocean coming back?
Yeah, it's about what I thought it would be. There was some good minutes early. Then there's some rust he's got to work through. But I thought he had good energy.
He didn't hurt his foot again.
I haven't talked to medical.
What is it about? I mean, when you look at the games against the top 3 in the NBA, Boston, OKC, Cleveland, what is it about?
Yeah, no, it's and they're good. You can't, like I said, you can miss shots. They're going to be missed shots. They're very good defensively as well, but you can't allow that to impact getting back. Like to me, we didn't protect the basket. We didn't build our shell. And then we didn't cover the line, and we got beat on the boards. You're not going to win that game.
Was this the first game where it felt like you guys might have let go of the rope pretty early?
Well, the thing is, I think teams that are high volume 3-point shooting, there's going to be variances that where the score can go quick, but you could also get back quick. Like you just can't give in, and that's the biggest thing. You can't allow anything to break you. You got to have the mental toughness to get through things, and so. There's got to be a lot more resolve particularly on the road against a team that is this good.
You go less than 48 hours, and it's the next one in Boston against a team that beat you guys by 50 in 2 games. Just kind of how do you?
Same thing. That's the next challenge, and that's you come out of the break, and you walk into a back-to-back. That's part of this league, and you got to have the toughness to get through those things. And the same thing. It's going to be a 1 o'clock start, so we got to be ready. That's what the schedule says. Just be ready to play. Understand what goes into winning, and every possession does matter. Yep.
Great breakdown by the coach. Great breakdown by the coach. Ace, it sounds like he knows what's wrong with the defense. Oh, mental toughness. AJ says Knicks X and O's are horrible. Tibbs and Rick Brunson are horrible coaches. Can't win with their style. Knicks and Honey Jim says, do we respect the Cavs now? Listen, agreed. Listen, I've always respected them. I just said we'll see in the playoffs, Knicks and Honey GM. Listen, the regular season is the regular season, man. You know this. Come on, man. Come on, man. Can you beat a team 4 out of 7? That's the key, right? So really, this regular season stuff doesn't really matter, right? It's what you can do in the playoffs. So, this is big, man. It's a big win for them. This is huge. This is a big, shining moment for them at ESPN, the way they flexed on the Knicks like this, but not just them, but a couple of other top dogs in this league. So the Knicks got to go back and, lick their wounds and kind of see what's going on. Knicks and Hunter Gibson, who do you think we beating 4 out of 7? I think we're beating everybody else except for the Celtics. I think we beat the Cavs in 7. This Grover says, I'm pretty sure Rich Brother, he doesn't coach, man. Come on, man. He don't come on, man. He just come on, man. He there for JB. No, listen, man. Look. Let's give Rick some respect. He has coached in the league. He has been assistant coach other places. So, he does know his stuff, man. Come on. I don't want to downplay the guy. But Disc Rover, you got a valid point. You got a valid point. Go from him to Johnny Bryant, right? Johnny Bryant obviously knows what he's doing over there in, Cleveland, because they look like a totally different team with him. Just be not right now. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm just messing with Knicks on it, yeah. AJ says Rick Brunson's getting paid for what? For being Jalen Brunson's dad, man. Nah, I don't want to say that about the guy, man. But AJ says Tibbs is most likely gone. Tibbs will be gone to watch, right? This is ill right here. World Wide West didn't join the Knicks to see all this. This is ill that you mentioned World Wide West, man. This is ill that you mentioned him. Because if you guys remember, right, there were some issues. Remember the issues that were going on before Brunson got here? Remember there was some rumblings that Tibbs might get fired. Remember that? And there was some issues going on because of the whole Randall piece, the thumbs down, and Tibbs thought he was going to be fired. What changed everything for Tibbs was Brunson coming. That's what changed everything for Tibbs, because that year was really, really bad. There was some turmoil, man, with some issues. Remember, he wasn't playing Obi, and people felt that Obi was better than Randall, but Obi wasn't getting no time. And then remember last year when Brunson came and they lost to Miami, remember him and Tibbs was arguing and fighting in the, in like the little hallway right there. He was barking on Tibbs because Tibbs wouldn't play him. Tibbs and him had they were cursing and screaming at each other. And then that summer they got rid of Obi, and they sent Obi to Indiana. Remember, but there was issues because remember World Wide West was traveling with the team on the road, and so he was coming back, letting it be known like what's going on with Tibbs. Like Tibbs is kind of having an issue with the team, with Obi, of course, with RJ. Them guys want to get up shots. Like it was a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes, and I remember there was reports out there that Tibbs felt he was going to get fired. Getting Brunson changed everything for Tibbs. But what you stated right here, World Wide West, listen, man, all I'm saying is that nobody is safe, man. Well, Guam, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Nasty loss by them boys tonight. 142 to 105. The Big Cat, 23-7. AJ says Tibbs might get fired this season. Nobody's safe. Y'all say anything. Him not being a good coach. Listen, Knicks 100 GM's on fire tonight. On fire, letting everybody know. Look, now he blasting World Wide West. Yeah, man, World Wide West is the man, man. You know how connected he is in this league, man? In this league, and just not just yo, man. I'm just saying, man, you gotta do your research, man. World Wide West is that guy, man. He's that guy. Well, Gorn says, why we always play so poorly against the top teams? We haven't had a decent game against the best teams except the first game against OKC. Agreed, against OKC and also two against the Cavs that we played at home. Both games we should have won. We couldn't close them out. Ooh, look at AJ says Dan Hurley might be the guy. Look at that. She wants Dan. He was Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley's not going nowhere, man. He's got it too cushy over there now. He's got it too cushy over there in UConn, man. He's not leaving anything. Jersey cat from Jersey City, went to St. Anthony's. He's not going anywhere. No other team, and for him to snitch on Tibbs. Yeah, I'm glad you said that's what happened, Knicks on the GM. They wasn't happy with Tibbs. I never forget that. I reported that too back when I did my show during that time. It was a crazy time during that time because there was some turmoil because Tibbs wasn't playing Obi, and Worldwide West liked Obi. Remember, Obi's a local guy. So it was some issues going on there. Remember, Randall's had a terrible season. And I told you that was right before they decided to give the keys to RJ, because it was about to be RJ, because RJ had a great end of the season. Even though we stunk, he was playing really, really well. So what I'm saying is that was a crazy time, and Worldwide West wasn't really too happy. And I heard, can't really, but anyway, he kind of, in some ways, kind of helped Obi get to Indiana. The Knicks did. I remember all, you know what I'm saying? I like that. He kind of helped, or people in the Knicks helped orchestrate Obi getting a good deal and going to Indiana, because there was a lot of stuff going, and they couldn't bring Obi back after what happened in that locker room or in that hallway in Miami game when him and Tibbs. They could not afford to bring Obi back. They just couldn't. And him and Tibbs, you know what I mean? This is, AC says the biggest problem with Tibbs is the player rotations. He's too top heavy with the starters. AC, that's always been his problem, AC. That's why I'm saying, AC, the issues with him as a coach. Like, why hasn't there been development of Akaporte? We see what he is. Why hasn't he been playing more? Why hasn't there been the development with Dadier? Why? It makes no sense. Everyone else is going 10 deep but us. So there's no need to play Brunson and those guys 40 minutes a night. It's unnecessary. You got players there that you have to use because you don't have money to go out and get anybody else. They've known that since they made the deal with Cat. So why wouldn't he be playing these guys and develop these guys? That's a coaching issue, not a player issue. That's a coaching thing. So this is once again, this falls on his lap. This falls on his lap. There's no way Akaporte shouldn't have been playing as well as he played. He should have been playing early in the season. That's easy. That's coaching, right? Development, knowing who's who, right? Being able to make that adjustment and pull the trigger and say, no. He's playing over Sims. And we need a big anyway because we don't know when Mitch is coming back. So let this kid play. But he didn't do that. You understand? So once again, this has always been his problem. He's stubborn. Remember, he's old, man. He's almost 70 years old, man. So this has always been an issue with him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that top heavy stuff, that's the problem. Knicks and Hunter GM said West was most likely the one that leaked that footage. You see, it ain't been no more leaks since then. AJ says, I remember that was bad. Yeah, man. Brunson did save Tibbs' job. I'm telling you he did. That when they went down there to basically recruited Brunson from Dallas, that was it. And he signed that $100 million deal, which was people thought was an overpay. Now it's an underpay. They realize now he's better than what he is, and that saved Tibbs because Tibbs was like most likely gone. AJ says that's why Dan Hurley will be a better coach. He develops rookies. Agreed. I like Dan Hurley, but the NBA game is different than college, man. Different. And you're dealing with grown men. That's a different type of voice in that locker room that you got to be able to do. Now, that doesn't mean anything because there's a lot of young coaches out there coaching really well. So it's just how he would have to adjust to that locker room. But it would be a change for him. It would be. Because it's different when you're playing, coaching college kids who get NIL deals, making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, than guys that are making $100 million. That's a different type of guy. And grown men, right? So that's a different type of juice you got to have in that locker room for these guys to respect you enough. So that's an uphill battle for a lot of guys. Knicks and Hunter GM, I said he's on fire tonight. Look at that. So now Tibbs should change his system because y'all gassed. We better than we actually are. Jay Supreme says we got to tinker with the roster a bit for next season. Yeah, man. Listen, there's a lot of things they got to do with that roster, man. Because the reality is this, Jay, we're not that good, man. We're not that good right now, and it's a lot of things they're going to be able to make. But what moves they're going to be able to make during the summer, man? That's going to be big. Who's going to be available? Who's going to be willing to take certain money? Because remember, you got the second apron, you got all this other stuff. So it's going to be ill, man. It's going to be ill. So they're going to really have to make some adjustments and do some different things. Knicks 100 GM is on. Yo, he's dropping flames tonight. 30 plus years of basketball. Now everybody is a coach. The most success we've had in decades, and now we want to run them out of town. I haven't heard anybody say. Well, AJ said there's a possibility. I'm not even saying fire Tibbs. You never heard me say that. What I'm saying is that he's got to make some changes. Knicks 100 GM. It's concerning that it's the same problem. Like nothing has been changed. That's my issue here. Like it's the same issue. It's the same problem, dogs. It's the same problem all year. So the coach's job is to make some adjustments to change whatever he sees his team is struggling with. That's your job. That's why you're getting paid millions of dollars. Wins and losses, LV. Listen, agreed. I'm not saying that. But are we judged based on those wins and losses, or are we judged against the contenders? Because people see us as contenders, sir. That's all I'm saying. People see us as contenders. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And against the top teams where we're considered, based on what people are saying, to be in that conversation with those other teams, we're getting our doors blown off. So that's why I'm saying something's got to change as far as when we're about to face those other teams. That's all I'm saying. When is the last time we had a real back-to-back winning season, LV? Come and tell me. We got to go back to the 90s, man. The 90s. So, right, back-to-back winning season. Listen, man, I'm not knocking anything that you're saying. What I'm saying is that who's saying send the guy up the river? No one is saying that. We're saying he's got to change some things. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Next 100 GMs come. Okay, then. He barking at LV. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have a nice conversation with my man. He barking on me. Respect Tibbs. Yo, I think we respect Tibbs, man. I think we do, man. My man's been yelling the whole time, all caps, all day. All caps. There's no in between. We are finally winning. Listen, agreed. But you can win and still have ways to get better. We got to get better against the top teams, Knicks 100 GM. And if there's certain things we have to get better with, it's up to the coach to make those adjustments. That's all I'm saying. Wouldn't you agree? I like to ask questions. Wouldn't you agree with that? AJ says Tibbs is a second round champion. We think him be better. Wait, Tibbs is a second round champion. We think him be better. I had to read that twice. He's a second round champion. That's an all-time great right there. He's a second round champion. It's pretty good. I agreed to a third winning season in a row, LV. Listen, I like that, man. I like the winning seasons, but we got to get over the hump, man. We got to get over. Okay, let me ask you something. I like to ask questions, and I hope you can answer mine. Why do you think the Mavs traded Luka? Because they realize he's reached his ceiling with them, right? As great as of a player as he is, why do you think they know things about him that no one else does? They know his limitations. And Dallas probably said, we're not willing to pay this guy $350 million, max him out, because we know what we're getting from him. We know what he's willing to do. We know how far he's willing to go. Like we know that. So I think that played a major, major role with that. I don't think they felt they could win with him. You know what I'm saying? With him because of the type of player he is. And, and you talk about he might be like equal to Cat as far as defenders go. I mean, he's straight garbage outside on the wing. He got exposed last year against against Boston. So that's the thing. So these guys are looking at like, yo, can he get us over the hump? And if he can't, we're going to have to go in a different direction, regardless of what he is offensively, right? Regardless of that. And I think that that's the situation that we might be in with Tibbs. Not not definite, but I'm just saying, I think that's something that, just a conversation to have, man. Jim out here just want to have fun, yo. He's right here, right? He's barking on me. He this Rover, he's in all caps all day. Luka's better than Brunson. Ain't no debate. I never said I never said Brunson was better than Luka. I never said that. I never said this. So I don't even know why that's even, how that even came up as a topic. Listen, guys, look, tough loss, man. Tough loss. But it doesn't get any easier, right? It doesn't get no easier. I think, listen, man, I got before I get up out of here, let me take a look here, man, because guys, I think, man, I think we get the toughest schedule in the league right now. Like, to end off the season. Because it's not going to get any easier. It's not going to get any easier. Any easier. Any easier. Let me pull up the schedule real quick for you guys. Let me just share this with you guys before I get up out of here. Okay, let me just get this out of here really quick. Guys, be patient with me. Okay. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let me just share this really quick with you. I just want to, share this with you. I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday, man. I know this law stinks, but I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. Oh, man, hold up. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second here. Little technical difficulties, but I think we can arrange this. Okay, cool. So we're good. All right, so look, so check it out. Okay, so we got Boston coming up, right? We got Boston. We're going to have 2 days off, right? Then we got Philly. Then we're at Memphis, at Miami, Golden State, the Lakers. Then we hit the West Coast trip. The Lakers, the Clippers, Sacramento, Boston, Portland, and then at Golden State. So it's about to get filthy in the beginning of March, right? So Philly, I think we pull that out. Philly stinks, but you never know, right? Still a rivalry. We got to go to Philly. Villanova, that's what I'm going to say. We got to go to Villanova. That's where we got to go. But right after that, we got to go on Friday. We're going to Memphis, and then we got to go to Miami. Then we got Golden State at home. That's still, all 3 of those games are tough. Miami's going okay, but you never know, man. It's still a rivalry down there in MSG South. We know what that is. But then we got to go on that West Coast trip, right? That's dangerous. We got the Lakers. We got the Clippers. Back-to-back games, Thursday and Friday. Then we go Monday. We go to Sacramento. Then we got Portland. Then we got Golden State. Dangerous. Dangerous, man. Dangerous schedule coming up. Yo, we got a tough schedule, man. Tough schedule. Tough schedule coming up. Tough schedule. Tough schedule. Tough schedule. It's going to be really, really tough. Really, really tough, man. So hopefully things will be better when we play Boston. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. Sunday, 1:00 in Boston. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, man. So we got to see what we're gonna look like. So, but look, I'm out of here. Listen, I'll be back Sunday to talk about the Boston game. So please come through and check out the show. All right, but that's my show. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button, people. All right. Also, too, if it's your first time coming through, rocking with me, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, if you're watching some replay, gang, please subscribe. Also, but also leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, people, that's my show. Nasty loss for them boys tonight. Hopefully, we can bounce back on Sunday. So please come through and check out my show against Boston Sunday after 1, right? All right, but listen, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Brrr.